evening, everyone, and welcome to the Changing Minds Online Empowering Women series. How you doing tonight, Akina?
I am great. How are you, Jessica?
I am doing wonderful. You know, I'm sitting here in beautiful San Diego. I am, I just posted I'm live tonight here, beautiful by the pool, by the bay. It's a wonderful, perfect evening, and I'm so excited to be sharing my evening with everyone on the call tonight.
Well, I am definitely excited as well. We have a great guest tonight, and we're going to be talking about package your love so that you can escape your 9-to-5. And our guest today is a speaker and business coach, and she is really ready to give us some great nuggets. So without further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to Iola. Yeah. How you doing, Iola?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really excited to be here.
Oh, yes. The pleasure is all ours. I just love it. And you just fall right into line with our subjects lately, escaping that 9-to-5. So can you tell us your story about how you escaped your 9-to-5?
Sure. This was about 2 years ago. Actually, let me back up to college. All throughout college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I ended up majoring in English, but I knew I didn't want to teach at a quote-unquote regular school, but I love teaching. So I had my bachelor's in English, and then I went on to get my master's in communications. And those 6 years of college, I dreaded one question: what do you want to do after you graduated? And I had no clue. So I figured English and communications together. I love to travel. So maybe I can travel and write. I was trying to put different scenarios together, but deep down I knew I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I couldn't picture myself at any 9-to-5 doing anything, actually. So I graduated, and I had different jobs. Actually, every single year I had a new job because after 3 months, I got bored, and then I'll start looking for another job. I've never been fired. I just leave. And this went on maybe for about 7 years, and I remember several nights I'll cry myself to sleep because I felt like everyone else knew what they wanted to do except me, or everyone else seemed to be enjoying their 9-to-5. It didn't bother them the way it bothered me. And that's when I thought, if I'm feeling this way, I'm sure there are other women feeling the exact same way. So I met someone on YouTube, and she was talking about group coaching and building your business and so forth. So I joined her group coaching program, and I learned so much about passive income and making money online and living a freedom-based lifestyle and so forth. So I worked with her for a year, and my second year I actually hired a one-on-one coach. And I really admired her because she traveled around the world with her son. The time when I met her, she was traveling around the world with her son and her nanny, working but living her life and really enjoying that freedom. And that was something I craved, but I wasn't sure how to get there. And I knew being at a 9-to-5, there's no way I can be traveling that extensively with a 9-to-5 job. So I basically learned a lot from her, how to build a business from home. As long as I have the internet, I'm fine. As long as I have internet and clients, I can work from anywhere in the world. And last year in September, I actually got a glimpse of that. I went to Hawaii for a business retreat, and then I went to meet my one-on-one coach in Sicily for a week. And I saw how she was just waking up and enjoying time with her son and mapping out her day, and she didn't have to rush to a 9-to-5 or call in and tell anyone she was late for anything. She was just living her life, and that was what I wanted, and that's why I hired her. So after then, I gave myself 1 year to leave my job. In 2013, I looked at the calendar, and I saw December 19th was the Friday before Christmas. And I told myself I give myself 1 year to leave, And December 19th of last year, I left my quote-unquote good government job with good benefits because I was working for the state of Connecticut. So I left, but before I left, I actually started building passive income at my 9 to 5 by publishing ebooks. That was one of the ways I started building a foundation to help me escape, and the rest is pretty much history.
Wow, that's, I love it. I love how you talk about really just starting to build passive income prior to quitting your job. And, Akina and I are both doing that as well, obviously, and anyone who's been listening to, this podcast for the last couple of weeks will know we've been talking so much about leaving your 9 to 5 and just really, really owning your own time. And not that you're not working, but that you're working on your own terms. And, for me, it took me about 1.5 years before I was able to stop completely working a 9 to 5 job for somebody else, being fully self-employed. And now I work, I get to do what I love, though. And the amazing thing about it right now, right, like this is my business. If you're following Change Minds Online, Akina and I have a business, and we build. And right now I'm running my business on the bay in Mission Bay in San Diego. I'm sitting on a boardwalk watching goldfish. I mean, I don't know what kind of fish they are. They're not goldfish, but they're these big goldfish swim back and forth in the beautiful water. And this is what my office looks like tonight. And that's really what it's about. And it's about really just having that freedom to live the life that you want to live. I believe everyone has an extraordinary gift, and that if they believe in themselves and they use that gift that they were given, you can fully financially thrive, not survive, but thrive, and really just have everything that you want to have and be able to do everything you want to do using that gift. God gives us these gifts that we can share with the world to make the world better, to add value to the world. And when we do that, we will be rewarded for doing so, and we really will get to live and create our lives absolutely by our own design.
I completely agree. I feel like once you figure out what your purpose is, everything that you need, all the resources that you need to succeed is right there, because I always tell people, you were born to do this. You were born to do it, therefore you know how to, right? And all the tools that you need is right there for you because you were custom made for that one thing. Yes, other people may be coaches and all of these things, but there's no other coach like you, or there's no other artist like you, or whatever your purpose is. No one is going to do it like you. You're going to attract a certain set of people that other people will not attract, right? So it's like you hone those skills, and that's how you live authentically. I'm all about living authentically, and being at a 9 to 5, I didn't feel authentic. My jobs were amazing. I got along with everyone. I got along with my supervisor and my coworkers and all of these people, but I knew that something was missing, and it wasn't my core message. My core is to help people to figure out what they love and to package it and monetize it in a way where they're happy and they're excited and they can live authentically. And I actually have a tagline for my business, and it's called Because Freedom is Everything. Freedom is everything for me. I crave freedom. When I have a husband and children, I want us all to be free and travel whenever we want. So I'm really, really excited about this process and going through everything that I'm going through. There are ups and there are downs, but I'm free, and this is how I want to live. So I'm really excited, and this is my mission. I tell people this is my mission and message, is to help women especially to escape. And I actually call the 9 to 5 a prison sentence. And people giggle and laugh, but it really is for those who do not belong there. If you don't belong at a 9 to 5, you're really in prison. And you're there until 68, 70 years old these days. That's a lifetime sentence, and that's sad and scary if you know you don't belong there. So that's my mission, to help women, and I do this through speaking and training and writing and so forth. So I'm really, really excited about my journey and helping as many women as I can to package that thing that they love to do, package that purpose and monetize it so that they, too, can live freedom-based lifestyle.
That is great, Iola. I totally agree with everything that you said, and I want to venture out into the packaging part of what you were speaking on. So when a woman comes to you to be a client, and tell us about that. How do they learn how to package their love?
Well, first of all, when they come to me, they should already know what they want to do. So the packaging is either two ways. It's either, actually three ways. They're either producing a service, such as consulting or coaching or speaking or training, things like those, or they're producing a product, a tangible product, such as a book or jewelry or a CD or something tangible. Or I say they can do both. You can do a service and a product. And I teach how to use a service and transfer that into a product. And I'll give you an example. Say, for example, you want to be a speaker, and you're speaking, that's a service. But while you're speaking, you can have that videotaped. You can use the videotape from that and sell that service as a product. You can even extract the audio and sell that separately as an audio. And you can also have that video transcribed for you into an ebook or a PDF or something like that. So I'm always trying to create multiple streams of income. So from that one speaking, you can have a CD, you can have you can have a DVD, you can have an audio, and you can have an ebook or a PDF. And that's where the packaging piece comes in.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Keena and I really weave well, and many of you may know we do have our own books out, and they're available on Amazon. If you look up either one of our names, we have, and now we're not putting out a 2016 version, but we had a 2015 planner that we had created. I had actually created it for myself because I had a need that I couldn't find a planner that worked for me, so I made one, and we wound up just being able to use that and to be able to sell that, right? It was something that I was able to identify I didn't have. Like, I was looking for a planner myself that had hours that suited my lifestyle, that had 15-minute increments, that really allowed me to work my goals into it and be balanced. I couldn't find one, so I made one. And when I did, I said, hey, you know what? Other people may need this too. And it wasn't a big process to put it online and to generate income from it. And it's amazing because it's something that I did anyway. So it really was just seeing myself having the ability to capitalize on it. And then I was able to do so. Akeen and I have our book, we have our 90-day affirmation and gratitude journal. So that's something that we've done as well. We are going to be having webinars coming out soon where we're going to be recording webinars, and you'll be able to attend our coaching courses, and we'll, record them as well. So, all those things are really, really great strategies. What I love about, what I call intellectual products, or any sort of product that you're creating or designing, and that could be an information product. If you're, really great at, using social media, you might make a video and you might talk about how to use social media. You might write a book. You might make an ebook. All these different things that you could do is you continue that passive income, a residual income stream like you talked about, where you continue to make that money, and can you continue to bring in that income. So it's not just a one-time thing. At the Amazing Journal, we said profits are always better than wages. And it's really true. And a part of mine, and I've said this on the show before, I am not right now at the point where residual income is fully replacing my income. So I do still work per hour, and I work per hour for myself with private clients rather than working per hour for a company. So I still own my time. But in the same sense, you do want to constantly be creating that passive income. And I want to just kind of give that advice to everyone. If you do want to quit that 9 to 5, we're not telling you on the show to be irresponsible to just go out tomorrow when you have nothing set up and quit that 9 to 5, and then the next week, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, get on the food stamps line and you'll not be able to support yourself or support your family. It is really a process, and that process will take time and investment. But you can set yourself up, and it really, again, it could take a year, it could take 2 years, it could take 5 years. It's different for every person. It took me about 2 years that I was able to set up that residual income stream. So, what are some, and you gave some amazing tips and strategies already. So what would you say a prerequisite would be for establishing that stream of residual income before someone just went out and decided, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore?
You know what? I always recommend ebooks, publishing ebooks, because that's how I started, and I feel like, to me at least, it's one of the most simplistic and inexpensive ways to develop passive income. And I always tell people, when you're at your 9 to 5, most likely you're lacking two things. you're lacking time and you're lacking energy because you spend 8 hours or more at work. When you come home, you're tired. If you have a family, you have to cook dinner and all of these things. But you can write an ebook in a day or a weekend. And I actually have a course teaching people how to outsource the entire process, outsource the writing, outsource the cover, outsource everything, where they're publishing ebooks and they're working on their business rather than in it. Because remember, you're at your 9 to 5. You don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of energy, but you're running that business where you can have 5, 6, 7, how many ever ebooks you want to publish per month. You can have those ebooks published where you're answering people's questions. And I always tell my clients, you're a problem solver. When you're writing ebooks, you have to know what problems you solve. What are people typing into Amazon? What are people typing into Google? And I actually created a passive income stream teaching people how to do this through my digital class called Build Your Empire with Amazon Kindle Publishing. So ebooks is one, in my opinion, one of the most simplest ways to get started with that.
Well, I mean, that, I love the ebook. The ebook is real, like you said, real inexpensive to start, and it is a efficient product because you're giving out information, and you're talking to two teachers, so we're definitely about educating the people. So
I wanted to say on this topic before we switch topics. I love how you're talking about ebook being a first step, and I think it's a great first step. I still kind of do want to say I believe that people need some form of system, really, too, though, that an ebook will be a great way to start. It's a great start for people, but you do really want to develop some form of platform that will continue to really produce real income. So, an ebook, it's going to produce some income, right? But most people are not going to replace a six-figure salary producing an ebook. So for me, I love direct sales. I'm a professional network marketer, and I don't talk about what company I'm with on this podcast. It's a totally generic sales training. People have asked it before. If you ask me, I'll tell you. But I believe very much in the industry of network marketing and direct sales, affiliate marketing, doing something where you have that continual stream of income, where people have actually created very, very real large amounts of money. Doing so. And that I love the industry because it works, right? It's proven that it works. There's more millionaires created in that industry than any other industry. So, while I do think that ebooks are a phenomenal first step, prior to quitting your full-time job, you do really want to make sure you have a solid income stream set up. So, what are your thoughts on that?
This is what I'll say about ebooks. Ebooks can be, I call it your digital business card. Because from my $2.99 ebooks, I have gotten speaking engagements from it. So the ebook is really an entryway into other sources of income. So it can be your business card. You can get speaking engagements, coaching, whatever you do. It's like a funnel. You can funnel the ebook's audience into your other businesses. I've also used my ebook to build my list. In strategic parts of my ebooks, I have links to my email list. So while I'm at my 9 to 5, I am building my audience. And again, while I'm building my audience, I'm getting calls for speaking, I'm getting calls for consulting or appointments for consulting. So it's not just the books by themselves. And actually the way I teach publishing ebooks, it's not, let me write one ebook this month and one next month. I'm talking about 5 to 10 ebooks per month. That can generate at least $2,000, and each month you're adding more and more ebooks. My coach, he made 6 figures just a year just from publishing ebooks. So it's definitely doable, and I know that everything is not for everybody. Some people ebooks may not work for them, or network marketing may not work for them, but the way I used it was as a business card or an entryway into my consulting or an entryway into building my audience while I'm at my 9 to 5. So when I do leave, I have this community or this tribe already built from my ebooks.
Well, that sounds really powerful, and it sounds like a great way to really get started. So what are some of the benefits you've had now that you've given up your 9-to-5 position? I know you told me that you are planning some trips and you're doing some really exciting things. What are the things that you're going to be doing?
Yes, first of all, my freedom. I get to wake up really whenever I want to. Sometimes I do stick to a schedule, but if I want to sleep in late, I can, and I don't have to call anybody. So that freedom is really important to me. And I have been traveling. In December when I left my job, I actually spent almost 2 months in Italy. I was there. I haven't been, I couldn't do that when I was at my 9-to-5. And also I get to set up, I'm doing a lot of speaking and training around the country, and I'm trying to take it international as well. So I get to do the things that I'm really enjoying. For example, my cousin, she just came from Belgium for a month, and I'm spending the whole month, almost the whole month with her because I'm free to do that and I can work from my laptop. But I always think of myself as a natural-born teacher, so I absolutely love training. So I've been setting up a lot of appointments to train on publishing ebooks and other ways to help women escape their 9-to-5 as well. Now, I also have time to write my book. Actually, I have a book coming out. I'm not sure if I can mention it, but I have a book coming out in October. And if I can mention the name, then I'll mention it later on. But just the freedom to do things that I enjoy doing is amazing to me.
Yeah, you can feel free to share what your products are. And if anyone is interested in them, feel free to share.
Sure, I'm actually coming out. Thank you. I'm actually coming out with a physical book. I have ebooks on Amazon, but I'm coming out with a physical book in October called Think Like an Escapee, How to Escape Your 9-to-5 Prison Sentence. So I'm really, really excited about that. And as mentioned before, I also have a digital course called Build Your Empire with Amazon Kindle Publishing, and that's a digital course. If someone purchases it, they'll receive a username and password, and they can take the class at their own pace.
Wonderful, wonderful. You have dropped a lot of nuggets tonight, and if someone was interested in contacting you because of the show, can you please give us your contact information?
Sure. They can go to my name, www.iolayap, which is IOLAYHAP.com. So it's www.myname.com. They can set up a free half-hour escape call with me, and they can also grab my Escape Your 9-to-5 blueprint as well for absolutely free.
Wonderful. And if I remember correctly, we have a Periscope star on here as well, and they could definitely check you out there also, right?
Yes, they can. Periscope is actually my favorite platform, so they can check me out on Periscope at Iolayat, my first and last name.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if they wanted to know more about you, they could definitely go to your Catch.me as well?
Yes, they can go to Catch.me, or they can also go to my website, iolayap.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I wanted to know, what would you say to a woman who is just down and out? She is so done with her 9-to-5 but doesn't see a way out. Can you give us some final words on how you would position that for her to bring her back?
Sure. What I usually do is I developed a 5-step system. So I'll go through the 5 steps. The first step is mindset. Number 1 is mindset. You have to prepare your mind to leave. You have to prepare your mind to do the work because it's not easy and it's not simple. So once your mindset is ready, you're ready. So number 1 is mindset. Number 2 is knowing your audience. Who are you going to serve? And a lot of people have problems with this, or we call it our target audience or our client avatar. And I'll ask people, okay, who's your audience? And they'll say women of all ages. You need to be very, very specific with who your audience is. So number 1 is mindset. Number 2 is knowing who your audience is. Number 3 is knowing your offering. What are you offering these people? Are you offering a product, a service, or both? What do they need from you? So be very, very clear when you're offering. Number 4 is visibility. Make sure you're visible online and offline. A lot of people are just based on Periscope or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, everything online, and they forget about the offline community. Go to meetup.com, meet people in your community, go to events in your community and meet people. So there has to be harmony between online and offline. And number 5 is you have to give value. Whether it's free or paid, make sure that you're giving your audience value, and make sure you're giving them things that they want and things that they need as well. So those are the 5 steps. Mindset, know your audience, know your offering, be visible online and offline, and always give value. Whether it's free or paid, make sure that it's valuable.
Well, that was really powerful. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and sharing with us those 5 steps and really just the benefits of leaving 9 to 5 and really how you can use an ebook to help facilitate that process. I definitely learned a lot. I was taking notes, and I'm going to look more seriously at doing ebooks. So thank you so much for sharing.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It was definitely a pleasure. So for everyone, who's listening in tonight, thank you for being part of my trip. My in San Diego was amazing to be able to do this here. And it really, if you are really just listening in tonight and saying, hey, you know what, can that be me? Can I quit my 9 to 5? I mean, I'm doing it. I'm here. We are proof. Akita and I started this podcast when, about a year and a half ago, when we said, you know what, we're going to take you with us on our journey of transformation. I certainly don't have it all worked out yet, but I'm in that process, and I can tell you that the process itself is absolutely amazing, and the rewards are great, and I know that I'm in this for the long haul. So on that note, if you want to hear a replay of this call, you can get it on our website, Changing Minds Online. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on YouTube or on Stitcher. On that note, guys, God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We love you, and we'll see you soon on our Sunday night inspirational call. Good night, Akina.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Iola.